Alright, hello and welcome to a tier list of the Dark Souls 1 Covenants. This is a subjective tier list, obviously, being made by me, who is subjective by nature. And it has been quite a while since I've played all the Dark Souls Covenants, although most recently I played it with the release of Dark Souls Remastered, although not all Covenants in there. Rest assured, I have completed every single Covenant at some point. So I do know somewhat of what I'm talking about, even if I forgot some of what I knew. Alright, let's begin. First Covenant, Darkmoon Covenant of Dark Souls 1. In this Covenant, we get the Blue Eye Stone for invading in the name of justice. We get a ring, which allows us to be summoned if the illusion of Guinevere was destroyed, which is a very big if. Not many people do that. So it's a lesser used part of the Covenant, which means it will lose points. But you get the Darkmoon Blade miracle and the Darkmoon Talisman, although Darkmoon Talisman doesn't really matter much. I'm putting this at A tier, I want to say. Perhaps B tier, between those two. The ability to invade people who have indictments against them or a sin counter against them is something I really enjoy about this Covenant of Dark Souls 1. And it worked best in Dark Souls 1 as far as I can remember. The Darkmoon Blade is, of course, very powerful. You can only use it while in this Covenant, which is a reason to be in this Covenant, but I think a downside of the Covenant is having miracles exclusive to that Covenant. Next we got Servants of the Fair Lady. Hold on, what's the actual name of this Covenant? Chaos Servant. Okay, it's just Chaos Servant. This Covenant, E, if not F. Sure, by joining this Covenant, you get 2 Chaos Pyromancies, and the chance to open the shortcut to save Solaire. But it seems like an annoyance. It's always an annoyance. You have to get 30 humanity. It's not even an exclusive item to rank up in this Covenant, being just generic humanity, unlike Darkmoon that has shriveled ears. Come on. Now, you have to turn in 30 humanity, which can be a rare resource depending on how you're playing or the state of online play when you're playing. You may have to farm, but if you are at a place where you can farm humanity, you might have already killed Solaire. No, that's not true. I put it at E because it's a major annoyance to rank up every time. Even though it has good rank up rewards, it also has no Covenant specific functions. You don't get to interact in online in any special way. It's unfinished. Now, Forest Hunters. It's one of the best Covenants to be in Dark Souls 1 once you've got everything else done. It is the best example of a Covenant where you can protect an area better than Darkmoon in that regard. You get to protect the grave of Artorias. There is the cat ring, which you have to wear in order to be summoned, so that's a point against it. You also get a ring that makes you transparent, which is quite useful and fun. There is a quest line with Shiva tied to doing this Covenant, which is cool and fun, but this one has one tied to it too, and it's not really, I'm going to consider that neutral, not a point for or a point against the Covenants. Maybe this does belong A tier. I just feel like it's a B tier Covenant, although it is definitely the best end game, one of the best end game Covenants for Dark Souls, because it has more longevity by nature of the invasion, or I guess technically summoning factor. Alright, Dark Wraiths. Very hard to join. They get I think we're putting them at B. I'm being pretty harsh here for all the Covenants. This Covenant does not have a specific does not change online in a specific way unless you count the item, the Red Eye Stone, which is a pretty big boon. I can't remember if you can only use it within this Covenant. It might be so. That might make it a, I don't know. Anyway, infinite invasions once you get to a certain rank in this covenant, pretty good. You get the Dark Hand, you get the Dark Set, you get the Dark Sword. You get a lot of good things. It is hard to join in the fact that you must not talk to Kaith. Or is it the other way around? You have to talk to one of the Great Serpents without ever talking to the other, which makes it a pain, and sometimes it's hard to wrap your head around how you're supposed to do that. Although really in reality, you just smack one until he leaves. Then you place the Lord Vessel by jumping down on your own, and then whatever. Anyway, lack of uniqueness keeps this from going higher, I would say. The online functions aren't actually changed, although you get to infinitely invade. And the Covenant reward item that you use to turn in, or the Covenant item that you use to turn in to get your rewards is humanity, which, if you remember, was a point against this Covenant. It's a point against this Covenant as well, just being regular old humanity. Although thematically it makes a lot of sense. This Covenant has a lot of thematic points going for it, so does this one. They're all of the Covenants in this game, Dark Souls 1, are very strong. Alright, Great Lord Servant. When the game is online and populated, this gets an A. This is, if not S. This one potentially could go to S. Oh, I should mention, farmable in offline mode, farmable in offline mode, farmable in offline mode, farmable in offline mode. This one is not. That's why it's not A. So you can get this item through online play, which is the most fun, which makes it really good. And then you can also offline farm like most of the Covenants in this game. Most, I say. You get the Gravelord sword just for joining. You get a miracle. What is it called? Like Gravelord sword dance or something like that. So the rewards for ranking up aren't that many. They're weighted towards the beginning of this Covenant, which makes it more casual friendly, which is also good because this Covenant drops off sharply with a decline in online play. When Dark Souls Remastered released, this Covenant was very popular and a lot of fun, as you taint the worlds of other players, and then other players invade you in great numbers, or technically are summoned in a way. It's invasions and summoning is the line between is very murky in Dark Souls. Anyway, you quickly see your world swarmed by other players. It's a lot of fun. I think this Covenant could have used a little polishing in the very end. Maybe make it so that those other players who are swarming your world to kill you have to deal with area enemies as well. Also, I wish that the Gravelord enemies, the Red Phantom enemies that are put into the affected players' worlds, appeared sooner than New Game Plus or whatever it is. It could be S tier. I think with a little polish, with a little messing with it, it could have been S tier. People might claim it's S tier. I certainly could see it. It's better. We're putting it in front of Darkmoon. How about that? Sure, we'll leave it that way. Okay. The Dragon Covenant. Path of the Dragon Covenant. This one conceptually is very cool. It never works out very well. People only want Path of the Dragon so they can get the rewards of Path of the Dragon. It is hidden. It was very hidden in the original run of Dark Souls 1. And then with Dark Souls Remaster, it was much more well known at that point. Yet with this Covenant, you can put down a special summon sign. You can interact with that special summon sign outside of this Covenant if it's placed by others, but you need to be within this covenant in order to be the one who actually places it down. This summon sign is exclusive. You can only enter the world that has one player in it, so it's one-on-one duels only. You cannot end up in a situation with more than 2 players in one world. And the idea is that they are going to duel, and the winner gets a dragon scale. The dragon scale is used to rank up the covenant. The covenant rewards are what this covenant is all about, turning into a dragon, with the dragon headstone and the dragon torso stone. The dueling system is what keeps this covenant down just a little bit. One, you can only use the eye, the dragon eye sign or whatever it is called, while you're in the covenant. Well, you can only place it while you're in the covenant. You can interact with it while you're outside of the covenant, which is a bonus. Dragon scales you can find throughout the world by killing specific enemies or picking them up, which helps. Maybe this is D. People don't want to actually duel in this covenant. They just want its rewards. They don't want to play in this covenant specifically. So that brings this covenant down. All right. Oh, I can't even remember the name of this covenant. It's like servants of Princess's Guard. I was way off there. So this will give you higher priority matchmaking with these 2 covenants. Well, that is something. I put this at E. It might be F. You know what? F. You're forced to interact with this covenant. You completely forget that this covenant exists. Or you may be forced to interact with this covenant. I am, because of the way I play. But this covenant, completely forget it exists. You get exclusive use to 2 miracles used for healing. It's Soothing Sunlight and Bountiful Sunlight. Very powerful healing miracles. Very powerful. Lot to this covenant. I don't think there's actually anything unique to this covenant other than the fact that you get those 2 miracles, which are exclusive to being in this covenant, or at least exclusive unlocks from this covenant. I can't remember if it's like Darkmoon Blade where you can't use it if you're not in the covenant. Either way, forgettable covenant. No special mechanics. I can't even remember if it has a specific rank up item or if it's just a generic item like humanity. Let me check. Oh, well, hold on. You get Ring of the Sun Princess. I forgot about that. There's no exclusive rank up reward, so it must be like help X a number of players by being summoned as a friendly phantom and killing bosses or something like that. F tier. That's what this covenant is for, which goes to B tier. This covenant is got strange joining requirements, which are somewhat difficult. You have to summon players who are already in this covenant in order to get points to joining this covenant, or you have to have a certain amount of faith to join this covenant. So it's rather easy to get Sunlight medals. It has exclusive covenant miracles, being Sunlight Spear and amazing Sunlight Spear. I don't know, it's a tier higher. I can't remember it, which was really powerful in Dark Souls 1, at least at first. I think they nerfed it, and I know it's been nerfed in every iteration of Dark Souls since. Difficult to join. Covenant exclusive miracles brings this down. It would be A tier otherwise. Sunlight medals is definitely a big plus to this covenant though. Definitely a big plus. Oh, and of course, you can farm this covenant offline, which is good, which is always good. Now, Way of White, F. If there was a tier below F, if I had a G tier, it would go in G tier. This is the worst of the worst covenants in all of Dark Souls I can think of right now. So, being being one of this trio of covenants, you get higher matchmaking chances between these 3 covenants: Sunlight, Princess's Guard, Way of White. That's really the only benefit of this covenant, is that you're more likely to matchmake with these guys. At least in summoning. I don't know about invading. That's not clear to me. Dark Souls has a lot of hidden mechanics. Now, there's no ranking up, there's no rewards. This covenant is only to help you on your feet, except for one covenant mechanic, which I don't know how powerful it is in Dark Souls Remastered. Having no covenant rank up rewards, it's just thematic. It's just lore, really, to me. I don't ever really use the function of this covenant. I don't really see the higher increased matchmaking with these, so that's why it's the worst covenant in this game. Probably because no rank up rewards. And that is my tier list for Dark Souls 1. If you liked this video, please let me know. If you would like to see a Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3 Covenant tier list, and even Bloodborne, if you want to see those, leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.